Jack had seen many strange things during his 5 years as a diplomat on the Galactic Council station, but nothing quite prepared him for the sight before him. A small Valerian child, no more than 3 feet tall with luminescent purple skin and enormous golden eyes, sat perched atop what could only be described as a nightmare-given flesh. The creature beneath her was easily the size of an earth elephant, covered in obsidian scales that seemed to absorb light itself. 6 legs, ending in razor-sharp talons, supported its massive frame, and its elongated snout revealed rows of crystalline teeth that could shred through reinforced steel. The beast's 3 eyes, arranged in a triangle on its angular head, fixed on Jack with an intensity that made his survival instincts scream. "Hello, human," the little girl chirped in perfect standard galactic, her voice filled with innocent curiosity. "My name is Zira. This is Nox, my puppy." Jack's hand had instinctively moved toward his plasma pistol, but he forced himself to relax. The creature, Nox, hadn't moved aggressively. In fact, it seemed to be purring. A low rumble emanated from deep within its chest, causing the station's floor plates to vibrate. "Your puppy," Jack managed, his voice steadier than he felt. "Yes," Zira beamed, patting the monster's armored head with her tiny 3-fingered hand. "He's only 2 cycles old. Still a baby." Jack's mind raced. He'd read the xenobiology reports on Valerian fauna. Their domestic companions were among the deadliest predators in known space. A fully grown specimen could take down a cruiser-class vessel if given the chance. And this was a baby. "He's very impressive," Jack said carefully, maintaining eye contact with the child rather than the beast. Standard diplomatic protocol when dealing with potentially dangerous situations. Focus on the rational party. Zira tilted her head, her expression puzzled. "You're not running away. That's strange. Should I be?" "Everyone else does," she said matter-of-factly. The Krillians scrambled over each other. The Vandorian ambassador actually teleported away. Even the Gorvax soldiers activated their combat protocols. She paused, then added with obvious confusion, "But Nox hasn't eaten anyone. I don't understand why they're so scared." Jack felt a chill run down his spine. The Gorvax were 8-foot-tall warrior species engineered for combat. If they'd considered this puppy a serious threat, maybe they're just not used to puppies like Nox, Jack offered diplomatically. "But he's so gentle," Zira protested. As if to demonstrate, she slid down from Nox's back, landing with a soft thud on the deck. The creature's massive head swiveled to follow her, and Jack noticed its pupils, narrow slits of burning amber, dilated with what appeared to be affection. "See? Watch this." Zira raised her hand, and Nox lowered his enormous head, allowing her to scratch behind his ear ridges. The purring intensified, and the beast's barbed tail began to wag, smashing into a nearby decorative pillar and reducing it to rubble. "Oops," Zira giggled. "He gets excited sometimes." Jack couldn't help but smile despite his racing heart. He'd encountered many species across the galaxy, but humans had a particular trait that set them apart: a strange affinity for pack bonding with anything, no matter how dangerous. Looking at this tiny alien girl with her monstrous pet, he recognized a kindred spirit. "You know what, Zira? I have something to show you." Jack pulled out his personal holo display and activated it. Images of Earth flickered to life, pictures of his own childhood. "This is me when I was young, about your age," he explained, pointing to a small boy standing next to a large German shepherd. "And this was my puppy. His name was Rex." Zira's eyes widened with delight. "You have puppies too?" "Humans love puppies," Jack confirmed. "We have lots of different kinds. Some are small enough to fit in your hand, others are bigger. We even had some that were considered dangerous, but we kept them anyway." "Really?" Zira bounced excitedly, which caused Nox to rise to his feet, shaking the entire corridor. "What happened to them?" Jack scrolled through more images. Pictures of wolves, of ancient humans hunting alongside them, of dogs pulling sleds through Arctic wastelands, of service animals helping the blind and wounded, of families cuddled on couches with massive breeds sprawled across their laps. "We made them our friends," Jack said simply. "We turned predators into family." Zira stared at the images in wonder, then looked back at Nox with renewed appreciation. "So you understand. Everyone says Nox is too dangerous, that Valerians shouldn't keep them anymore. They say we should use synthetic companions instead. Her golden eyes began to glisten with what Jack recognized as tears. But he's my best friend. Jack knelt down to Zira's level, glancing briefly at Nox. The creature was watching him intently, but there was something in those alien eyes. Intelligence, perhaps even understanding. Can I tell you a secret about humans? Jack asked quietly. Zira nodded eagerly. We believe that the best friends are the ones who could hurt you, but choose not to. The ones who are strong enough to be dangerous, but gentle enough to be trusted. He gestured toward Nox. Your puppy there? He's powerful, yes. Scary to most species? Absolutely. But he loves you, and you love him. That's what matters. Emma, Jack's fellow diplomat, chose that moment to round the corner. She stopped dead in her tracks, her hand flying to her sidearm as she took in the massive predator dominating the corridor. Jack, what in the— Emma, meet Zira and her puppy, Nox. Jack interrupted smoothly, standing up. They're new to the station. Emma's eyes darted between Jack's calm expression and the monster that could swallow her whole. Then, incredibly, she lowered her weapon and smiled. A puppy? Well, why didn't you say so? She pulled out her own holo display. I've got pictures of my bulldog, Tank. Want to see? Zira squealed with delight, rushing over to Emma, with Nox plodding faithfully behind. The beast's massive form cast shadows across the corridor, but neither human flinched. Later, as station security tentatively approached with containment protocols, they found two human diplomats sitting on the floor with a tiny alien child, sharing stories and pictures of their pets. And looming over them all, a creature of nightmares purring like thunder, perfectly content to be called someone's puppy. The security team exchanged confused glances. The Gorvax commander simply shook his head and muttered, "Humans," in a tone that mixed exasperation with grudging respect, because that was humanity's greatest strength in the cosmic arena. Not their technology, not their military might, but their absolutely insane willingness to befriend anything with eyes and a heartbeat. Even the monsters, the end.